Katherine, you are the editor of a libertarian magazine, so I've been told. What is one key issue of particular interest to libertarians where Trump and Harris have significant differences?
I want to talk about tariffs because I am the editor of a libertarian magazine, I guess. But I think that there are some really important differences here, and it's easy to wave them away because both candidates have pretty bad policy proposals. So I do want to establish that both are on the not great side of the spectrum, but there's bad and worse are important. So Trump has a history of being very aggressive with tariffs. He has proposed an across-the-board universal 10% tax on all imports. Sometimes it's 20%. It's a little unclear. This is supposed to be an America First policy, and it would be, I really can't say this clearly enough, a disaster. It would be really, really, really bad for the American economy to do such a thing. Harris has pushed back on Trump's plan, but also Biden kept a lot of Trump's tariffs in place, and Harris would increase some of them. They would be more targeted. It's, green energy this and, China that. But we're still looking at increased tariffs in some strategic places. This is a really important difference between the candidates. And if Trump does anything like what he says he's going to do, it would be ruinous for the U.S. economy. So
what do
tariffs.
So in judging all of these things, there is what the candidate says that he or she is going to do, and what can they do as president, and what is plausible that they might do in conjunction with Congress. Where do tariffs weigh in on that, in your estimation?
Yeah, I mean, presidents do have some power in this arena. And so that's one reason I picked this category, because a lot of what they are talking about, they really don't have the power to change. So I think you could say, for instance, there's a really big difference between the candidates on healthcare policy, but presidents don't make healthcare policy. They can and will strongly influence, our tariffs and foreign trade. I think that of course, it matters whether there's a cooperative Congress, and so it's TBD. I also think it matters whether you just take Trump seriously or literally, right? He would love to do the thing he is describing. He would totally do it if he could. Can he? Will he bother once he's in office? Who knows?
The Tax Foundation did a really interesting scoring of Trump and Harris's tax plans. And one of the things they talked about in terms of tariffs is, because the president has such wide latitude to impose tariffs, that if Trump actually put in the tariffs that he's discussed and was not able to enact tax reform, because that does take Congress, it would be the 7th largest tax increase since 1941, and it would be the equivalent of about 1.08% of GDP, which is gigantic. So this is one of those things where if Trump, he's talking about massive tax cuts plus tariffs. And when you look at it that way, then it becomes a big tax cut. But he can't actually do the tax cuts. If he actually just enacts the tariffs, this is a major, major deal. And he might just be vindictive enough to do that. That was a clip from the latest Reason Roundtable. If you want to see more clips, go here. If you want to see the whole episode, go here. Make sure to subscribe at Reason's YouTube channel or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, watching, or both.